Okay, I want to do a video real quick before it got dark here. It's about 6:30 here in St. Kitts now. Wanted to talk to you on several things. First of all, I had quite a few questions on people asking about, I did a video on China and Cuba, and they mentioned, in the past I had mentioned not to deal with countries that, had dictatorships. But the reason I did videos on these two countries is everybody's different. That one I did on Cuba because some people do have background problems, and Cuba is kind of a safe haven for someone if you can actually get there. And then you don't even have to get citizenship for that, once you get there. But this is the key right here. Cuba has got a dictatorship. I mean, it's still that way. It's when Castro's brother dies, I don't know if it's still going to have the same sort of problems, as far as the lack of freedom and stuff. And of course, China, if she dies, probably more than likely somebody's going to step in his place in China there. And I don't think China's going to change a whole lot. I mean, it could. It's very difficult to see it changing that much. They seem to have a real stronghold on that country. But China, like I said in that video, if you're wanting a big populated area that's got 1.5 billion people, and I would advise you to speak Mandarin, although you don't have to. You can basically get somebody, get people that you hire that speak the language. But again, like I've told people before, I would not move to those countries. I'm just giving people options for people maybe who have left the U.S. Maybe they've had problems because China doesn't have an extradition treaty either with the U.S. And not just the U.S., but a lot of countries. So if you want a big population to sell to, and you're leaving a country, and you got a problem situation, either civil, criminal, whatever it is, and you don't want to work it out, I've always told people, I think in most cases, you're better off to work out your problems before you leave that country. But you're better off, like I say, getting out before you have a problem to begin with. But, the reason I'm bringing this up, these are options that you can have that, that maybe other countries would not take you in. Like I said, St. Kitts is very strict. You've got some sort of civil or criminal type issue or a background problem, St. Kitts is out. And so the other fast track programs too, unless you've solved that problem, because they don't want people to have issues getting citizenship here if you're in the midst of a problem. That's why I tell people you should be getting these passports before you have a problem to begin with. Also, folks, if you want to legally get around high income taxes or how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button right on your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. Number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Just ask for some help. I've always said that St. Kitts has got the golden standard. No income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, almost no property tax at 0.20% of whatever you're purchasing, with a $29,600 US exclusion before that 0.20% kicks in, which is almost zero. That's a good deal, okay? And there's no military requirements. They allow dual citizenship. It's English speaking. It's got everything. It's got all the checks boxed off. But some people don't want to move here, okay? Now, like I said, this is a good place to come and get residency, not just citizenship because of the weather and the taxes, but it's not right for everybody. But I will tell you this, they've got a real unique help plan that I've told people about before, that once you, if you're paying in Social Security, they pick up a lot of stuff that normally you would not see in the U.S. Just by, enrolling in the Social Security system. But you don't have to. If you don't want to, if you're self-employed, you only have to do it for your employees. If you have employees, if you're self-employed, you don't have to do it for yourself. It's a mandatory. It's an optional thing. It's not mandatory. Okay, so and it's really unique. I just went to the hospital the other day, and went in, didn't cost me a dime. Went to see a ears, nose, and throat doctor, and I don't have health insurance. Everything is covered there. They pick up everything. And also, right there in the hospital, they have a drugstore, and all the drugs there are free. Now, you got to be 62 years old or older, and you got to be a citizen. Or you can, they also have benefits too if you have a business here and you're paying into the Social Security system. But I'll tell you something, when you got a country that has no income tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, and almost no property tax, and then have these type of benefits is really good, because you don't have this huge military spending here like you do in the U.S. So there's a lot of benefits of having something with a small country, because it's a lot more nimble and you can get things done a lot easier here. Now, I would advise you, if you can't get citizenship in St. Kitts, one option you could do is get residency here. And I've mentioned to people before, I think it's got the best residency program in the world, because you literally don't have to invest any money to come here and to set up a business, okay? You can come here and rent and set up a company and get residency, and another 14 years of residing here, you can apply for the passport, okay? Now, you're not guaranteed to get it after the 14-year period. The best way is the fast track program, the economic citizenship way, but some people don't have that money to start off with, because you really need, you're looking at about really around $150,000, $200,000 right now. Like I told you before, the rate's going up. June the 30th on the citizenship program, you're going to end up spending, just on the donation option, $25,000 US more. But if you try to expedite that, depending on the size of your family, it could be another 100,000 on top of that, which is 125,000 more money. And I'll tell you something, folks, you can't wait until 2 weeks before that deadline date of June the 30th, because you're going to have to order stuff that you can't get quick. It just doesn't happen. There's some things that you're going to have to depend on the government. Your college, educational certificates, there's all kinds of stuff you're going to have to collect. And that stuff's going to have to be turned in. And it's all going to have to be together at one time before the service provider will turn it in. So if you're looking at getting citizenship in St. Kitts, and I've told you this is the best of the fast track programs, I think it's the best in the world because of the tax situation. They got great weather, no military requirements, English speaking. It's close to the US and Canada. It's got every single box check that you want to get checked off. You know, I've always told people I think this is a better way to go than getting an EU passport. I can go to almost any place in the world that I want to go to here. In fact, there's a lot of countries you can go to with a St. Kitts passport that you can't do with an EU passport, okay? There are countries, in fact, there are countries that I think I counted up as either somewhere between 5 and 8 countries that you can go to with a St. Kitts passport that you cannot go to with a US passport. So, you know, it just depends on where you're going, and you know, how you're how you're going about doing it. So, if you're looking to try to branch out and lower your income taxes, like I said, you don't have to go to a city that is highly populated like China. If you've got an international business, just take it on the internet. You can do it in a country that only has 40,000 people. It doesn't make any difference if it's a small country if you're doing international to begin with. So these are the things that I would be looking for when you're trying to do a business international. And I've told people before, I think Dubai is a total waste of money if you're doing a business, because unless you're doing business locally. And the reason I say that is you've got all these fees and stuff that you don't have to pay for. You can do a business from St. Kitts for only a license fee. Here's only about $180 US a year for license fee, versus all the thousands that you would have to pay in Dubai. Even, I don't care if it's a, you know, if you're doing it in the free zone or if you're doing it as a Dubai company, it doesn't make any difference. You're still going to pay thousands of US dollars when you could do it for almost for free. It blows my mind. So many people don't know this, and they find it out after they go to Dubai. If you want a huge market of people that's local to sell your product or service to, that's different. But if you're doing your business internationally, you're really foolish to do it through Dubai. You can do it for almost nothing. And I've mentioned this to people before. And the weather is so much better in St. Kitts than Dubai. There's so many things that are actually better here. And I'll tell you something else too about Dubai is when you set up a visa over there, you've got to go back through Dubai about every 6 months. Okay, that's really a bad rule. I don't know why they instituted that, because you're forced to go back there. If you're not there to begin with, then you're going to be forced to go back through there every 6 months. That's a lot of wasted time and travel costs and everything. If you set up a company, live in St. Kitts, they don't care when you leave, when you come back. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. That has so much to do with letting you have control of your travel and do the things that you want to do. I've always wondered why they've got that rule. It's kind of a stupid rule that you've got to go back there every 6 months to keep your visa or your visa from being canceled. And so there's so many things that you'll learn once you go over there. That's why I've always liked St. Kitts better. Just a lot more freedom. You don't have a dictatorship like you do in Dubai, UAE. So if you're looking for a free place to come, but like I told you before, you're going to be barring yourself out, making things a lot harder when you don't get citizenship in St. Kitts. You'll find that out if you come here and try to get residency. Now you can come here and not get citizenship, and you can get residency. The best way to do it, though, is either to set up a business, but you're not guaranteed to set the business up. What I would advise you to do, if you want to live here and have a business, is you can buy a property without getting citizenship for around $300,000. That has to be a structure on it. Can't be just land. And you get permanent residency without the right to work. Now, when I say the right to live here without the right to work, you can still have a business outside the country and live here. So you're doing your business internationally, okay? I'm not saying you can't do a business locally. I'm saying that you would have to get special permission to do that since you're not a citizen. See, like I told you before, you're a lot better off in a lot of cases to get citizenship, and that's how you get around that. But if you want to still live in St. Kitts and work outside the country and still have your business outside of St. Kitts, but still live in St. Kitts, you can do that also by getting what's called permanent residency with the right to work. Okay. Now, what that requires is you would get a property. It doesn't have to be in the citizenship zones. It's $300,000 US, and it's just the land and the structure itself has to price for $300,000, and you can qualify for this. Okay. Now, there are some advantages to that, and that will qualify you for citizenship 14 years down the road. All right. Now, if you're not in a protected, in fact, you can actually be in a protected business if it's not a local business in St. Kitts. So if you've got, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If you've got a real estate company, but it's not in St. Kitts and you're not a citizen of St. Kitts, but you've got permanent residency with a house here, but then your business is outside of St. Kitts, and you're in the real estate business, which is a protected business in St. Kitts, you would not be able to set up a local company unless you're a citizen here. But you could have that business, like I said, outside the country, live in St. Kitts, come and go, have permanent residency here by buying a property that's $300,000 or above, okay? You don't have to pay the government fees, those hefty government fees with economic citizenship fees. You don't have the hefty background checks fees that you pay for, and the reason is you're getting residency, not citizenship, okay? So, and also since you've been in St. Kitts for 14 years, if you're going the residency way, when that 14 years comes up, the fees or the due diligence before you get the citizenship is minute. You don't pay for the regular, very hefty background check fees that you would on the economic citizenship fast track program, okay? A lot of people don't know this because there's almost nothing. I literally had to dig stuff out. I mean, it's literally nothing on the internet. I literally had to go down to the different government offices and pick each one of them and just go in and dig this stuff out. It's, but I'll tell you, the residency program, I've always told people, if you look across the board, it does, and it's not going to be perfect for everybody. If you're looking for lavish New York, shopping and stuff like that, it's not going to, you're not going to have that here. But you're going to have quaintness, quietness. A lot of wealthy people come here because of that. Okay, and they like conservative liberalism. Okay, which you'll get here. It's great for that. But folks, if you want to learn more on this, again, you can go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and again, you're looking to get citizenship. It's going to be really costly for you if you wait after June the 30th to turn in all that paperwork. You would be smart if you're thinking about doing it to get it started now, and you're going to be really pushing it to get it started now because you'll have 4 weeks to get all that information together. If I can help you, we do this for you. Just contact us. Our WhatsApp number is 1-869-669-6923. You can WhatsApp text us, and we'd be glad to help you out on any of this. If you got any questions, just go to the question or comment section below. And also, don't forget, hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.